So I was on the official Postal Discord earlier, and I was going through like some of the like upper channels, announcement channels, and Running with Scissors had tweeted out whenever it was about like hating DRM and how they distribute all their games without DRM attached to it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then I'm like, that includes the Steam ones then, so it's not a hard dependency on it. So this is kind of a continuation of the like games that are like DRM free in Steam. So like that wiki article I showed in my last video about it had a list of games, and I don't think it's quite complete. So you'll have to go and like talk to the developer of the games if you're on the if they have a Discord or whatever, then that's a good place to check. Maybe the Steam community somewhat, but it just means either A, you're configuring something in maybe like Lutris or like going to the shortcut directly, because when Steam auto installs a shortcut, it's going to auto run Steam rather than run the game directly. So you're either going to have to go into the Steam folder or Steam apps folder, which is what I'm in currently, and basically run your game. Some games, for some reason, might be different than others. I don't know why, but I know for sure that some others work pretty well. So I can go and I can go like run Postal 2 and it'll actually come up. So there is a slight difference, I think, with it in like the version info that you'll see. So you'll see, of course, it doesn't load up the workshop mods. That's kind of the thing that you forego most of the time when you're playing games in this form, is foregoing the workshop content. I believe there are stand-ins for it that work pretty well, and I am looking at covering one of those options in a later video, but so you can see we've got Steam US 5023. So when I was running Paradise Lost, it was Steam None and then whatever version it was. So it seems to run a bit better without Steam, it running through Steam, but it also makes sense as to why, for example, Postal 2 has their achievements, wherever that went to, um, without it. If you try and run, workshop mods, it seems to have a thing where it, like, kills the game, because it's trying to load the Steamworks stuff, or not. So some games might work pretty well with it out of the box. Apparently, Paradise Lost had issues when I was like looking into it. So we can go to a very postal Christmas, and we can start it in Too Easy, and then we can click start, and it runs just fine apparently. Because apparently they programmed Postal 2 to check the workshops directory for mods. So yeah, I don't think it comes through on OBS that well, but yeah, it's a pretty smooth experience. Yeah, OBS isn't picking it up too well.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me weaponry.
Okay, so we're gonna...
We've all heard of Rudolph and his shiny nose, and we all know Frosty.
Gonna quit that before we get content ID'd. But of course, that's not the only game. So I've kind of gone through and like tested a few different games to see how well they do. I did try Postal Redux. Yes, it does work very well, okay? But pretty much all the Paradox games have it running. So if I go to, where is it? RimWorld. RimWorld is interesting because it's not a hard to... Steamworks isn't a hard to depend. You can see the script here and what it runs. But if I just run that, you'll see it come up. And it'll kind of give you a warning when it comes up, like, hey, if it'll just take a second. Okay, so it comes up with the could not initialize Steam API. So you're not going to have the DLC so much in this, it looks like, or have access to workshop mods. Because it couldn't, like, load the Steam app ID. So you can quit or ignore it. And ignoring it lets you go into the game like normal. But, of course, you should technically still be able to go into the mods. Oh, no, it does have the DLC. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you have workshop mods, they may or may not be able to, but there are different places you can put those mods in order to get them to work. So we can quit to OS. One such example, is Kenshi. So I know when running in Windows, what you have to do is you'll take the workshop mods and copy them into the mods folder in Kenshi, and then you have to rename the folder according to the mod name.mod file, and then it'll show up in the Kenshi launcher from there. So it's kind of a hit and miss thing, where you gotta... Some things will work with Workshop just fine, others will not, like I said before. But the big takeaway, I think, from this is kind of check with the game developers of your favorite games and see, like, hey, did you make it so that this was DRM-free if I can run it without running Steam? Is it Steam Works a hard depend? Oh, some of these games will come up with a warning that, like, hey, we don't have Steam. Some of them will run Steam, of course. So... Again, hit and miss. There are some games that explicitly state in some of their startup scripts, like, hey, we don't detect Steam. We're going to run Steam for you so that we can run. So, now Steam's open. Thank you, game. And it's running in runtime mode. Come on. Can tell when it's running in runtime because it doesn't match the theming that I have. So the real curiosity... Yeah, see? A lot of games seem to not have Steamworks as a hard depend in this. So... That's... Actually, I kind of really like that. Not gonna lie. Come on, buddy. The thing that Steam... Scratch that. Again, you're gonna have to, like, go through. And again, this is based on the fact that there are many game studios that hate DRM, and Running with Scissors specifically posted, it's like, we don't like, quote, solutions that punish, people that purchase our games. Let me go pull that up. This is how we kill something. Look at that. That was easy. And look, it ran it in runtime. Again. Anyway, so... Not now, buddy. We don't believe in solutions that punish legit consumers and make it harder for gamers who are short on money to play our games. This is why all Postal games are distributed without DRM. Just never ask what happened to Postal 3, of course. Again, this second video is a continuation of that first video, and kind of an addendum to it is a result of this tweet, basically. And this also implies that they know that what people are doing when they try their games from the high seas. So check with your developers, check if they do it DRM free, or if Steamworks is a hard depend, because that means you may be able to get away with setting up Lutris or whatever other launcher to launch your games without running Steam. And if you have a lot of games that have DRM problems, maybe encourage the developers of those games to move away from that and make it easier. Yes, it's going to make it easier to pirate. Look at GOG. Like, you can go onto Pirate Bay and find a GOG installers now for just about every game on there. Guaranteed, because they don't control it with DRM. But GOG is still afloat, it seems. If you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.